Give me 1 second, y'all. Alright. What's poppin'? What's poppin'? So your girl came to rant, communicate, conversate, whatever you like to call it. And today, your girl came on here to talk about losing the head, part 2. For those, or should I say, before we get ahead of ourselves, but first, hi, hello, nice to meet you. My name is Lina. I go by Lina the Hood Therapist. I am here to help you heal, grow, and thrive, only if you want to. It is up to you to decide if you want to heal, not just the surface level, but deep down inside in your soul and your spirit. And I'm going to let you know, my love, it's not going to be easy. You might even have to fight for your fucking life, right? So, be prepared. But I believe in you. I believe that you will conquer all of the obstacles that are in front of you, okay? Now, back to the topic at hand. Like I was saying, this is the topic about losing the head, part 2. So there's a part 1, right? Go check on my live, YouTube, wherever you are. It's probably going to be on YouTube, right? And go to part 1 before you watch part 2. Okay? So, back to where we left off, right? We left off with, we went home and that was that. So, after that, bro, it was like we were all preparing ourselves for, like the day for us to truly let go of her. And for those of you that are confused, like I said, go to part 1. I'm not even finna give you a little rundown. I'm not finna give you a little spiel on what part 1's about. If you want to know about part 1, go watch part 1. If you want to be in the understanding of what we're talking about right now, go watch part 1. Okay. Now, back to what I was saying. We was preparing ourselves to let her go, truly let her go. And as the day was coming, for us to truly let her go, we had to get everything ready. They had to pay for, her cremation because we didn't really have enough money to bury her, especially because she wanted to be buried down south. But unfortunately, we had to, her children decided to cremate her, right? So they had to pay for the cremation. We had to pay for the church and stuff. We had to pay for all that, right? And then we also had to pay for the after, whatever it's called. I don't know what the fuck it's called. I really don't be paying attention to stuff like that. But it's where the family gets together and they're, basically after the funeral. And they get together and reminisce and talk about the memories and, sit with the family and have a meal and stuff like that, finishing out the funeral. But like I said, as the funeral, as we was leading up to the funeral, it got a little hectic. It got hectic, emotions were getting thrown. People were coping in different types of ways. I'm not even going to lie to you. I myself was coping in ways that I shouldn't have been coping in. Like, I picked up the habit of smoking again. But I really was already smoking. But, during that time, I started to go more and more into it, right? And, I also was drinking more. I was getting, those big-ass bottles of fucking wine. The big bottles one. and I'll probably be done with that bitch. And for me, like, don't get me wrong, because I drink some wine, like, but for me, I try not to drink that big bottle within a week, because I know that, first off, that shit fuck up your system, and second of all, it takes a while for it to get out of your system, and third of all, I need my stomach to be okay, because if I start drinking that much, my stomach start acting up. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But I was drinking them bitches in like 2 days, 3 days, and then going to get another one. And I'm just like, slow down, right? We don't want to go back to the old coping where we just grab substances and just went to town. Like, no. We told ourselves, calm down, relax, like, catch yourself, you know? But I wasn't the only one. Other people were, especially the ones that did the, well, for those that don't know, in my family, some do hardcore, you know, things, substances, and they definitely spiraled for sure. Even though they pretend like they didn't, pretend like they're okay, pretend like it is what it is, you know. If you want to pretend cool, if that makes you feel better, cool, like, do that, you know. But like I was saying, energies was getting tossed, people were acting a goddamn fool, motherfuckers is wilding. You know, one of my aunts, the middle aunt, my grandma had 5 girls. Technically, she only had 4 and adopted a girl, right? Bro. My bad, y'all. My throat started to get a little itchy, but she adopted one, right? But it's her daughter, right? So the middle daughter, because she has more than 5 kids. She got 7. My grandma had 7 kids. 2 of them were adopted. I'm pretty sure. I don't think he's like part of the family. The uncle, my other uncle, I think he's adopted. Or he was brought into the family or some shit. I don't know, bro. But yeah. Her middle daughter, right? She's a special case. I really don't want to talk about her because, like I said, she's a special case. And let's just say, she went through a lot in life, and there is a lot going on upstairs. Only she and God truly knows what she says is true or false. Even though we assume a lot of the shit is not true. Only her and God truly knows, right? But I don't mess with her because, yeah, she's a special case. And anyway, you know, her sisters were trying to get a hold of her, you know, constantly text for a little in-depth in who she is. She's a roamer. She doesn't have a home. Like, every once in a while she has a home or whatever, but like recently she's been, you know, going from wherever to wherever. Like, she's living in like this homeless shelter or whatever, and she'd just be walking the streets and working in a roamer, right? And you know, my mom and her sisters, my aunts and stuff, were trying to get in contact with her, you know, telling her like, yo, like, especially at the time where my grandma, you know, went into the hospital. They was contacting her all the way up to the day that she passed. And they were talking to her, like, you know, like, telling her what's going on. And I guess, my bad, y'all. I am on the Wi-Fi, and the wind is blowing, and the airplane is going, and sometimes the airplane cuts out the Wi-Fi. Why? I don't fucking know. But, like I was saying, they were trying to get a hold of my aunt, and come to find out, my aunt thought, like, she thought they were lying about what was going on. She thought that what they were saying was not true, that her mother is not, you know, passing over to the other side. Like, she really thought, like, they were lying to her. Yeah. Like I said, a special case. But, like I said, there's a lot that went down in the family. And of course, I'm not going to talk about all that shit because, first off, there's a lot. And second of all, I wasn't really paying attention to it because I was going through my own shit. When I say I was numb, bitch, I was numb. Like I said, I was numb to the point where I was just going, bro. Like, I was just going. Like, I was just going. I was just smoking and drinking and fucking... I wasn't even crying. I knew... That's how I knew it was really that bad. Like, the only time I cried was when... That night. When we got that call. And it was the last night. The only time. And then, you know... We went to... her house, and... people were... You know, we had to move, and she had a lot of shit. My grandma... Ooh... Jesus. She had some... of course I picked up some shit. Of course I did. We all did. And if you feel like, you know, if you feel like that was wrong or something, like, damn, you shouldn't have did that. Like, you didn't even talk to your grandma. She had stuff there for me. Even though we didn't talk, we knew it was like this still. Even though we left and we fell out so bad, we knew. We knew we still love each other. We knew we still care. We knew we still appreciated each other, right? So it was just like, that was still my grandma in there. That was still my rock. That was still my love. That was still my everything. One of my everythings. My bad, y'all. First off, there was, like, my neighbor was over there, but the face I was making was because there was a fucking fly behind me in the back that just came through that motherfucking window, and I just heard that bitch, and I'm just like, what are you finna do? Like, is you finna buzz right back the fuck out, or are you finna cause problems? A goddamn fly, bro, like, bro, these motherfuckers. But, yeah, we had a lot of shit to go through. My grandma had a lot of stuff because not only did she have, like, a whole bunch of shit, like, she kept herself, but she also had, like, shit from when she was sick and she had to, you know, get, you know, dialysis. And was it dialysis? She basically had to go do radiation to clear out whatever was going on, and it was a whole bunch of stuff that she had in her apartment, and it was packed, bro. And we just had to... Well, I didn't really do anything. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I did, but I didn't. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I did, but I didn't. Like, I helped, like, the first day, but then I got busy, you know. I had to do other shit, and it was just like, damn, you know? really appreciate it if you stop blowing a little bit, Lynn, so I can really smoke my shit. Nah, but it was really crazy, bro. You got to see sides of people you've never seen, you know? And just think you gotta keep going through it. Until the very end of your own life, you have to go through someone passing over. And you never know when. You know, it's sad sometimes to sit and really go deep in depth in life, bro. Because you really start to understand a lot. How life truly works, how things truly work. Like, you see the good and the bad in life. You experience the good and the bad in life. And especially when you are knowledgeable in certain things in the world. Like, I kind of am. I'm not even going to say kind of, because I am. Like, I understand certain things that some people just don't want to think about, or they just can't because their brains won't allow them to. They're stuck in a cycle, stuck in a certain thing, stuck in one repeating thing over and over. They're not open-minded. They're just closed off and be like, no, this is that, and that's that. When I tell you, I know a good amount of shit about life, bro. And not only that, I've experienced a good amount of shit in life, and I still just sit there and be like, this is life, bro. Like, this is really life, bro. I don't care, bro. But, you know, after everything was done, and we went to the funeral, and like I said, I got to see a lot of different things, you know. I got to see my auntie cry, my youngest one, the one with the 3 daughters. She always stays strong. But I know she is hurting, bro. And she's hurting for real, because she was with her through the end. You know, like, her and grandma, because my grandma will always babysit. One thing about my grandma, she always took care of her goddamn grandkids. None of them can say my grandma never took care of them. None of us. I swear to you. My grandma, even when we were younger, she took care of us. That was just her tough love. Stubborn as fuck, but tough love, bro. That was her type of love. But yeah, not only that, I see my other cousin cry. Poor thing. I see my other... Basically, everybody was crying, bro. Everybody was crying. I don't think my dad cried, but I'm pretty sure he probably sat there and thought about it. Might even shed a tear. Who knows? You know, it's still hard to think that she's not here anymore, bro. Like, she really is gone. Like, and she was the head of the family. She was the thing that kept everything together. And when she left, it's like you can see how everything started to fall apart one by one. Bruh, it's sad to experience that shit, you know? It's sad to experience your fucking family falling apart. Like, when you were younger, of course we had our ups and downs, and of course I was young, so I didn't really understand, but at the same time, we still were family, you know? We still had get-togethers. We still were the happy-go-lucky family, the best we could be. Yeah, we was toxic, but that was our life. That was our family, bro. And then shit happened to where motherfuckers started, I guess, arguing more. I guess we got older, the kids got older, and things just, I don't know, bro. I don't know what happened to our family, to be honest with you. I guess you could say it was just how life was for us, right? But seeing the family fall apart from the outer part of, instead of being like inside the family, like stepping out and you seeing everything, is crazy. And I've always stepped outside the family because I was different, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, I was different. You know, I love my family to death, but they were toxic. Toxic, like, they were toxic. And I wasn't really here for the toxicity, you know? Especially when I started this so-called spiritual journey, bro. Like, like, I swear to you, like, I didn't fuck with them. Like, I didn't fuck with a lot of people because I seen, like, who they really were, and I wasn't fucking with that. But I still loved my family, you know? And, you know, as the days go on, you know, I see how losing the head definitely takes a toll on you. Or should I say, takes a toll on the body that was there. Think about it, you know? Literally think about it. The only reason you are walking, talking, moving, breathing, speaking, seeing is because of your head. like because of that. And how it tells everything to do what it does. You can function with a lot of things without a lot of things. You don't need all your fingers. You don't need all your toes. You don't need every foot. You don't need every leg. You don't need every arm. I'm pretty sure when we get to the organs, like a kidney, you don't need every kidney. You can figure some shit out with the other shit. Like, you need the other shit, of course. But, like, what I mean is, body-wise, they all function together, yes. But if you take away the head, you can't really function. Because you can take away certain things, you can still function. But when you take away the head, you can't really function. You gotta really think about it. Because you can't think, you can't do nothing. You're just a vegetable? I was trying to say you know them, you know those people that be over there, whatever the fuck that long I don't know. Bitch, I don't fucking know. Like, it's in there, but I haven't said it in so fucking long that my brain is like, how do you say it again? Bitch, I don't fucking know. But anyway, any fucking way, you wouldn't be able to function, right? And I'm seeing how the family is functioning. And it's kind of like the world in general, bro. The fuck is that type of bug? Cool. You know, it'd be weird when you see certain bugs you haven't seen before. And it's just like, there are so many things in this motherfucking world you haven't seen yet, and it's crazy. Like, I don't know what type of bug that is. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. But back to what I was saying. Like I said, you need the head, bro. That shit, you need it. And losing it is crazy. And like I said, people are insane. Especially the ones that cope, like, in a bad way. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I see how, of course, you know, of course. You know who wouldn't be hurt over what happened, you know? Especially since, you know, they were all grandma loved everybody, bro. But yeah, anyway, let's get back to something else that's not so dramatic and sad and whoop-de-doo, bro. But like, yeah, people be acting crazy. You know, my I don't, whatever. I won't even say it. Fuck it, okay. Fuck it. I was trying to say some shit, but I'll be glad. You know, sometimes you don't always gotta say shit. You know what I'm saying? So, silence is the key, baby. Sometimes you gotta be silent on the motherfucker. Let them know you're not fucking playing. But yeah. Not having the head is crazy, bro. Not having structure is crazy. But especially when, you know, you follow, it's like following the leader, kind of. Like when you are constantly allowing someone to lead you and they disappear and now you are confused on where to go because you've always followed the head of whatever you're on, like the head of the pack, the head of the foundation, the head of the business, whatever. You've always followed them and you've never truly had your own life. But I don't have to worry about that because my family, we all had our own lives. We were all independent. But like in general is what I'm saying. When you follow something and all of a sudden it's gone, it kind of takes you aback a little because it's like, damn, what do I do now? Like, they're gone, it's gone, like, it's not here, they're not here, like, what do we do? Like, how do we move? Like, what's going on? And, you know, in those moments, all you can do is just sit there. Instead of stressing about it, instead of trying to be like, oh my God, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Just sit there, bro. I'm telling you from experience, just sit there. Because it can be a lot. So just sit there. Take a moment. Don't think about shit that you can't change right now. Just focus on the here and now. So, yeah, bro. I'm over here checking my arm like it's a goddamn watch on that bitch. But the whole time I'm really just checking my scars. But yeah. That's about it, y'all. That was it for the day, I guess. Like I'm trying to think of something else. Like I can't think of anything else to say besides, you know, if you are only watching the second part, cool. It was probably just a message for you in the second part. But if you want to go listen to the first part on what happened and everything, go ahead. If not, I really don't care. Like I said, nobody's gonna force you and shit. My tummy was itchy. I'm sorry. I just look so fucking good though. Like, and the purple, I gotta brush this hair. Still looks nice though, but the purple, bruh, the purple is my favorite color, bruh. If you know me, purple is just like, come on. Stop. I haven't been on camera in a minute. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, for y'all to see me type shit. Usually I be blackouts and shit. But recently I've just been like, and it's not because I've got a different hairstyle, because I've had a different hairstyle quite often. I just been busy and shit like that. But I had to pop out, and I need to go do this. I want to go tighten up the curls again, because the curls are definitely loose. Shit, we might get it to roll like, and then have it come down. That'd be cute. Oh, and I can't. I'm gonna shut up. Cause this look cute too. Ooh, this look cute too. Wait a minute. Should I cut this bitch? Nah, not right now. Maybe later. Anyway, y'all, I'm over here feeling myself. I'm sorry. That's about it. I hope you had a blessed day today. And if you didn't, I hope you have a blessed day tomorrow. You know, don't give up, bro. Don't stop. Don't quit. Don't let none of these motherfuckers bring you down because you still that bitch. You will forever be that bitch. Period. So, looking crazy and all, bitch. Like, looking crazy and all. You will forever be that bitch. So don't let these motherfuckers stop you from getting to your shit. But that's about it, y'all. Peace out.